This is time for our first panel session for you now. Now, most of us will go and do our grocery shopping from week to week, and it's kind of a boring and mundane affair where we grab our items from the shelves and we put it into our trolley. And I'm sure a lot of us would like to be kind of involved, maybe a barista walking around and offering you a nice cappuccino or a macchiato as you wander around your supermarket, maybe Spinneys or somewhere like that. However, the world is changing, and what we're going to be talking about now is, of course, a fabulous opportunity for how the retail sector and, of course, food will be able to move forward. We've got a panel who are about to come up on stage, and I'd like to say that a lady called Peggy Lee is going to be guiding our panel through this conversation, and Peggy is the managing partner of SBS Affinity. So we'll introduce Peggy in just a couple of seconds, but before we do, can I ask up onto the stage our panel, Fabrice la Boulenger, the CEO of Grandiose Supermarket, Laurent Guitart, the CEO of Circle K in UAE, and Mark Lack, the CEO of Urban Foods, and of course, your moderator for the session, Peggy Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a round of applause. Hi, guys. Hi, guys.
Hi, nice to meet you. Benny.
We're just going to make sure everybody's got...
We see
now,
us. Hi, nice to meet you.
Bernhard's still got his microphone on. Hi, Peggy, how are you? Good. Right, guys, you've got your microphones here, and I'm sure they're all turned on. There we go. Peggy, you're going to be... Right, over to you guys.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm delighted to be surrounded by a line of elite gentlemen that I would call within the food retail industry, if I may say so. It's a very interesting topic. So without further ado, I would like to start with an opening question. Now, what big changes have you done that has evolved your business throughout this 2019? I think I'll start the question with Mark.
Sure. Hello. I think the main thing we did really was towards the end of 2018, coming into 2019, which was introduce the Franprix brand into the market here. And Franprix sort of fits in with a lot of what was just said in terms of things like home meal replacement, because a lot of what we're doing there is about providing a difference, and we're no longer looking at proximity retailing. We're actually looking at share of stomach in terms of what we're doing, because we're now competing against people like Deliveroo, who are dropping 4 times a week at people's homes, and that's where we have to compete. So, and that's where Franprix does some of that.
Monsieur Laurent.
Hello. Same question?
Yes, Circle K. What is the phenomenal changes that you have in place or have already put in gear during 2019?
Well, I think in retail every day we are changing everything. We need to listen to the customer, and we need to adapt ourselves to some new regulation. We need to adapt ourselves to the new customer behavior. But if I will name only one, I will speak about one of our stores in Cleveland Clinic in Abu Dhabi. We are working closely with the Ministry of Health to implement a new program. This program is a Wekaya program. Idea, it is to build a healthy convenience store. Target is to have 95% of items stock in the store to be healthy. When I say healthy, it's sugar-free, it's gluten-free, it's all kind of process to help people, to educate them, and to be able to give them the right food and drink, and to remove from the shelf all the junk food and beverage. So it's going by a new listing and also by a new way of merchandising. We want to put at the eye level whatever is good, healthy good for the customer, and to put in the cash counter where we know that cash counter is always impulsive destination for customers, since 100% of them stay here before to leave the store, to put only healthy solution. So this Wekaya program will be live by end of October. But my opinion, I believe in future convenience store business model will touch this new experience. We can have a convenience store, but it's not the idea of before the convenience store is Red Bull, Mars, Snickers, and hot dog. It's not because it's fast that it is not healthy. It can be fast, but it can be also healthy, it can be tasty, it can be gastronomy. So we want somehow to not to reinvent everything, but to try to adapt ourselves to a new customer trend.
Fabrice, now leading on from the comment of Laurent, I have to say, great work with what you do with Grandiose up in Rack. And I simply cannot say more than well done for you to find such a location, and very brave indeed. Now, how is Grandiose adding the uniqueness to the UAE food and grocery landscape?
All right, thank you very much for your introduction. And as I was saying, that to set up a new supermarket brand today in Dubai, in the UAE, in a market which is completely saturated of retail distributors, and also in a difficult economical trend and the country, is very challenging. So we have to bring something new if we want to succeed on this project. So I think that the first thing is, yes, to listen to the demand. As you were saying, that the evolution of the demand is moving fast. You know, I was 5 years ago, I was making the development of Carrefour in my previous position here in the UAE. And I left the country, and I came back. I left the country in 2012, and I came back in 2019 to set up this project of a Grandiose supermarket. And I can see during these 5 years, 6 years, how fast the market has changed. First of all, for example, the home delivery was not existing. It means something completely new. It took for me a couple of months to understand exactly the importance of the home delivery. So it's a new, absolutely new phenomenon that we have to take in consideration. For example, we opened one store in Marina, and you have 30 to 40% of the turnover who can be taken by the home delivery, and that's something new. Another something new is the sustainability, who take a big part of the concern, and it will become stronger and stronger. So we have to anticipate this point. Yes, you were mentioning also in your store, Laurent, that customers are much more concerned, but our children will be and are already very concerned about this matter. So it's not only plastic free, it's the carbon print, from where the products are coming, all the philosophy that we are developing inside the store around this sustainability will be the store of tomorrow. You know, we have some applications who are now rising up in France, in Europe. I will mention the name. It's Yuka application. And people, it's absolutely, this one will be very powerful and will come soon here. It means that with your mobile phone, you scan the barcode, and it gives you the healthy of the product in terms of saturated grease, in terms of sugar, in terms of protein, in terms of fiber. And then in France, already, you know, mainly because it's a French company, people are scanning all the product and change their habits of consumption. So it's all these little details that we have to anticipate and to be prepared in order to be performing. For my part, it means that we set up our supermarket. We are not building our business on the growth on the market. The market is not growing anymore. So we have to take some market share. How to take this market share? It's to be different. Right? So it's all this point to listen to the demand, to fulfill the gap which is empty today with our competitor, and to try to think ahead, bringing new ideas and developing the demand of our customer.
So, saying the niche. Now, Chang is definitely the man in the niche with 1004 Gourmet. I love the Asian supermarket at Onyx. I love going in there, even for a browse, going to see the beauty product. As I said before, I would even go there just to have a coffee. So you still earn some money out of me at the end of the day. Now, comprising, obviously, the Asian grocer with the beauty brand and a cafe, how do you see all these components come together, synchronize so well that give the brand that unique edge?
So I think just to give you some insight, we're an Asian marketplace with a cosmetics shop and a specialty coffee shop as well. But everything happened organically. So before we found a space for our new shop, my wife and I, we figured Korean cosmetics was becoming very popular all over the world. And so we have the infrastructure in place to import our own products, register them, get it inspected, and basically deliver it to different people. So we created an online website before we found a space, and then when we found our location in the Greens, we thought it might be a great extension because the thing about cosmetics is, I think, when it comes to Korean cosmetics and something new, I think people have to touch it, feel it, smell it, and test it before they make the final decision to buy it. And so that was one of the main reasons we decided to open up a shop inside. And in terms of the coffee shop, I love specialty coffee. We're not just any commercial coffee shop. And I live in the Greens, and there's, in the whole vicinity of Greens, Marina, JLT, TCOM, there aren't many specialty coffee shops. So it wasn't necessarily just to create an extension of our shop, but I just thought it would be a good business idea. But now it was a good decision because we have cooking classes and events in that space, and it's a great place for families to come while they shop and get a coffee. And we sell this shaved ice dessert, which kids love. And so, yeah, from that aspect of it, I think that was the great synergy that we found.
Bernhard, great presentation. I learned so much from what you said in terms of building brands within a supermarket, from the Ireland to the French supermarket. Now, what are your top 3 recommendations to make a grocer format unique?
So I think the most important thing is, I say this here again already, is not being just a stupid supermarket. Because in the end, everybody sells the same. So I think it's more, like you was already saying, the quality of the product, who is behind this product, what's going on with the people who explain you what's the program, also all this digital discussion. That's nice, that's okay, but in the end, when I trust somebody, then I buy something. So I think this is a very important point also then. That's why we start with certain clients to create brands also when they're in the stores, because an own brand is like, I trust this product a little bit more, and then I pay also a little bit more, because what we have done in Ireland was a really simple thing. The owner is a 77-years-old woman with 150 stores, 25% market share in Ireland in food, what's unbelievable. And she was just explaining, till my own company is able to get in the fresh areas the quality what I as a person expect, the second richest woman in Ireland, I will be dead. So I will not survive this. So what I'm doing, I buy the best butcher in Ireland, I integrate this guy in my company, he's operating my business, I make a brand with him and integrate this brand as an add-on to my basic business in my supermarkets. And this was an additional turnover. It's a very simple idea. It was a chaos in the first 2-3 years because somebody with this specialist thinking from 1 or 2, maximum 2 stores was operating a meat business from 97. Huge supermarkets. So, but I think that's when I'm saying it has nothing to do with design or look and feel or whatever. It's just how authentic you are, how are your products, how you explain the story, how is your brand. I think these are the key elements.
Mark, urban food. Now, well done with the Giant expedition, shall I put it in such an extent. So you got Giant, you got Fanplex, you got Monoplex. In terms of experience, what is the common thread tying all these brands that you have from the offering, elevating shop experience? Is it gastronomy? Is it product offering, design, or a combination of everything?
It's a bit of combination of everything because each brand has its own distinctiveness. But there's one element missing there, which is the employees. So what we try and do is empower the employees so that they can get on with the work that needs to be done. And the work that needs to be done is actually serving customers. So what we're doing is looking at a lot of the processes that we normally follow in stores and, where possible, removing them. Because if the staff, the employees themselves can't spend time with the customers, then the customers aren't going to want to come back. And just as a really good example of that yesterday, and I've put it up on LinkedIn, one of our stores in Galerie Wassel, the Franprix store, the employees there actually made their own video of the store to entice customers to come in, which is fantastic. And they did it on their own. And we put some challenges out to the staff to find things to do to encourage customers to come to the store. And this is one of the things they came up with, was an actual own video, which was great. And the fact that we can give them the flexibility and the empowerment to do things means that customers do come back. We made a customer in our Blue Waters Franprix, a video with a customer, talking about our shawarma, because we've got the shawarmas in the stores where we make them live, and the customer was so impressed that they actually now keep coming back every Saturday just to have our shawarma on Blue Waters Island. So I think the more you can push creativity and empowerment into the stores rather than hard processes, then it leaves that flexibility with the employees to spend time talking to customers. And that's how we get a lot of our feedback, is actually direct speaking to customers, and then our employees feed it back to us.
Laurent, with Circle K. Now, Circle K, with 40 units in UAE, convenience and Circle K have a equilibrium mark that equal to, so Circle K equal to convenience. So with the diversity mix of format, location, how do you optimize space while maximizing product offering? In doing so, does design play a critical role?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I will tell you more for sure. In convenience store, it's not supermarket, it's not hypermarket, it's not a destination at all. So the most important thing for us is to find the right location. Whenever, no matter the size of the retail unit, we need to be in the right spot, that's it. So whenever we find the best spot, and we have this box, we need to optimize any square feet. In our company, our average retail size is practically 1,200 square feet. And inside this 1,200 square feet, we have to put chiller, freezer, gondola, proper display. So yes, design matter a lot. So we need to, whenever we open a store, somehow we want to forget what we did previously. And we need to be very fresh because we have 40 stores across UAE and practically all are different. Different in ambience, different in stocking goods, different in merchandising, different in retail selling price, different because our audience is completely different. I will give you one example. We're having a lot of stores in academics across the UAE. So when your customer doesn't have any income, are here to learn and to become the manager of tomorrow, we cannot give them the same price strategy that we're having in other stores like Emirates Tower or Souk Madina Jumeirah. And we don't have to, we cannot give them the same merchandising and offering. So we customize our range based on the audience. We focus on what they want. And we customize display, we customize the merchandising, we customize the design. One fact in convenience store, very important, globally, not for UAE only, but globally, a consumer, a convenience store consumer will shop in 4 minutes. That's it. That's it. This is a deal. You have to increase your sales every year, to increase the profitability every year, to increase your ticket size every year. But your customer, he will give you 4 minutes. So we have to think very practical. We have to combine some category like a carbonated drink and salty snack should be together. They will go for one destination, but they will buy 2 items. So we need all the time to make a journey very fast for the customer to find whatever he wants at high level, enough stock, proper merchandising, for the customer to be able to enjoy his shopping destination in 4 minute times only. So yes, design matter a lot in a convenience store.
Design definitely matters. Now, obviously, Fabrice touched up on the question of sustainability, from banning plastic to everything else. So, question to you, Fabrice, touching on that. What are your thoughts on sustainability within the food space? You know, be it products, banning single-use plastic, use efficient lighting, or designing a source sustainability, or even to your logistic infrastructure. So what is your...
Yeah, I think that's well, first it's one of my concerns. So I like to work on this aspect. But it's also, I think, the answer that we have to bring to the customer, and it will come stronger and stronger. So today we remove all the plastic bags in cashier counter, in the fruit and veg, in the fish section also we are trying to find some solution also in the butchery with containers. We have refill with glass bottle. So that's for, I will say, all the packaging, but also for the product. We pass some agreement with the local farmers to have local product and to have their own display in order to reduce the carbon print. And I try also to avoid the dairy product to bring from Europe. We try to have all the local product as much as we can. So it's part of the philosophy, which will be the predominant point, I think, for our customer in the future. To come back to the global question of how to make the difference with our store, I will say that, you know, during the last 50 years, we were thinking the retail, saying, okay, you have the location, which is very important for the convenience store, the assortment, what we are offering to our customer, and the prices. That was the 3 pillars making the success, I think, of the retail supermarket and hypermarket. But we have a 4th pillar coming now, which is, yes, the level of service that we are doing. Mark, you were mentioning the fact that you are training your staff to empower them, to give them the possibility to communicate and to give the good service to the customer. We always have been working, but it means that the real focus has to be done now on this aspect. Because yes, we have the home delivery, so we have to be able to give the good service in terms of home delivery, but also the experience inside the store. It means that we are giving the experience, and we can see that, you know, also everybody is focusing on that. We can see in Carrefour the modification that have been done in Mall of Emirates. It's impressive. It means that they opened completely the bakery. They did open coffee shop inside. Also the fish with many consignment, where you have the salmon, the sushi, the Thai food, and so on. So that is coming strongly, very strongly, you know, for the next years. And we have to think on this whole aspect of service, atmosphere, freshness inside our store will be much more powerful compare what we have today in the classical stores.
Thank you. So riding on from people ordering online. Now, Chang, at this time and age, everyone likes the convenience of ordering online. Now, what are you doing to stay ahead of the curve and offering a seamless experience? One that could begin with online but end in store. Um, what are the technology that you're leveraging? What are the client experience that you're wanting them to order online but still ends with you in the store?
You can't ignore the online business right now. I mean, with the likes of El Grocer and InstaShop, you see them taking a bit of a market share of the local grocers. But I think in our shop, I think you mentioned design. Design is extremely important for us. I think, we have wooden structures and stone tiles, which I brought from Korea. Trolleys I brought from Korea, because it's hard to find nicely designed products in Dubai. And I use yellow lights to kind of warm the mood. I play nice music, which you would probably hear in Zuma. So people come in and they take their time to walk around and look at the products, read the labels, ask questions about how to cook it. And so we're trying to put in experiences that you can't have on an online purchase, along with the cooking classes and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's the main advantage that we have, as opposed to other kind of hypermarkets. You know what to expect when you go into a hypermarket. You know what you want. You want to go in and get out. But with us, we want people to take their time. We want people to ask questions. And again, online is a big part of our sales. It's around 40% of our retail sales. But still, I think people appreciate the fact that we have a nicely laid out, aesthetically beautiful retail shop, and I think that's the difference that we have.
Bernhard, obviously, Chang just said about the design. Now, from a design perspective, what is the next wave of transformation in terms of the design on the grocery stores or we say food experience store landscape?
So in general, I say, I can speak for Europe especially, or also for Canada and US, that all the grocery stores, the big size are coming smaller. So from 12,000, 60,000, they go to 8 and 6. So in these stores, the real grocery part will be smaller, because a lot of people start to buy online, what's good for me, because then we have more space for other things. So I have a lot of clients, they start to reduce the grocery, but they do very clear research before what kind of products can go in online, what they really need in store. Also then for making space for other things. And then I think in the end, the supermarket will be a certain kind of restaurant. I don't say that everybody will eat in a store, but the feeling, because when you are just looking, people in US, they spend more money for going for going a restaurant than in a supermarket. So the supermarket has to do something. So they are not too used to be a restaurant, because a head of supermarket is not a head of restaurant. This is very difficult, because he's not cooking, not having this experience. But there is a certain kind of way this has to come together. And I think who is doing this right, he has a future. And I'm saying this in all the levels. Starts when you see what Lidl Aldi is doing, which is on the way to work on a new Lidl concept. This is unbelievable, because they have to do something, because they cannot do what they have done. So that's also cash and carry is going in this direction, because everybody would like to, like I say, be just more than a stupid supermarket. So I think that's clear the future. And then there are different ways to do it.
And that's quite interesting. So when we were at the speakers room, we were talking about what Alibaba has done with Hema, and all the playfulness. From the QR code showing where the product origin comes from, enticing the people, having the pool of little crayfish can be picked and get it cooked.
Yeah, or when you just look, I don't know, somebody knows Central in Bangkok. It's the biggest one. When you look what they do in the food halls, they have 220 places now to sit and eat, and this is really a supermarket. So I just come from Bangkok, so they do an amazing job. It's a food. They have different levels. They have top as a small selling. They have 1,200 supermarkets in 5 different chains. But they are doing an amazing job in this way. Yeah.
So, jumping on from that, now, experience with Circle K Laurent, now as a convenience store. Through the offering and building the community that you're saying with all the initiatives, how else or what else are you doing in getting the repeat customer coming in? How do you create that unique guest experience in a convenience spectrum?
Yeah, this is a very good question.
Give us the secret.
So I cannot say anything. There is too much retail people around me. I need to protect my business. No, there is no secret. What I want to say, in convenience store, our consumers are coming 4 to 5 times a day. A day, they come, whenever we have a convenience store in Emirates Tower, customer will come at 8 o'clock to take his coffee and croissant. Will come again at 1 o'clock for his nice pesto salad or nice noodles or sushi. He will come again in the afternoon to have a coffee, and after leaving office in the evening he will come to grab some bottle of milk or whatever candies for kids. So customers are here around us because we are not destination. We have to be where people are. The deal is to be able to offer them a wide range of assortment. We cannot eat every day the same thing. When you have the same customer coming every day, 4 or 5 times a day in your store, we cannot give him a Red Bull and hot dog and thank you, see you tomorrow. No, we have to be able to offer him a wide range of food, something spicy, something salt, some chicken, some fish, some noodles. Noodles, by the way, are very fast moving now. Instant noodles is moving like a crazy. It's becoming very trendy for teenager and for manager. So we have to find how to entertain all our customers and to find a way to give them in 4 to 5 minutes a proper experience. Something that my colleagues say, we talk about trust, we talk about atmosphere, we talk about engagement and empowering our people, because at the end of the day, each company has their own strategy, and but I think customer honestly is not looking at the signboard. He just enter because there is a shop near to his place. So he's entering inside, and after he will see if we care about him, if we welcome him, if we smile to him, if we recognize him. Because I told you that our customers are coming every day and 4 or 5 times a day. So imagine if you come and the staff will recognize you, will prepare for you your cappuccino as you like it. This is for you. He will greet you for your birthday. He will ask you how was your weekend when you went to play football or whatever. So in convenience we have, in retail we have to innovate all the time. But also we have to back to basics sometimes, not back to a traditional retail where it was a small grocery in center of the village where everyone know everyone. So we need to be very innovative every day. We need to back to basic. We need to give a unique experience to our consumer. So challenge is a tough challenge, but this is what we decide to do every day.
Well done for not giving too much of your secrets away. So, last but not least, the million-dollar question to all you gentlemen. What's next you see in this industry? I'll start with you, Mark. What's next?
I think next is what I mentioned earlier. It's partly about food as a social experience within the store. So the term grocerant is sort of thrown around a lot. I think it's a very ugly term, but it's sort of the direction that we're all going in, whether it's from the convenience stores, in the supermarkets, even in the hypermarkets with what we saw Carrefour had done. And that's where the sort of Monoprix and Franprix brand are already sitting anyway, with that facility to enjoy the food that you're buying in store and have that same in-store experience. And I think that will be more and more. We know that when we go out to a restaurant, we're eating with friends or our loved ones, it's an experience and people enjoy it. So what we're trying to do is create that same feeling in store and have that social element to eating in store rather than just coming in and grabbing a quick bite and disappearing. And that's why when you look at the Franprix stores in particular, they have a lot of bench seating to encourage people to sit together, to eat, to live, to work, to play, and enjoy their time while they're in the store. And I think that really is the way we're going, is that you're not just going to go to a grocery store to buy grocery. You're actually going to go there and in the morning have your coffee and a croissant, and in the afternoon have a nice salad, and then in the evening pick something up to take home for you. And our competitor is no longer each other from a retail perspective, retail grocery. Our competitors are now the restaurants and the delivery services for restaurants. And that's why I keep saying to my team, it's about share of stomach. We're trying to get some of this, not just some of this.
Shin being a specialist store, what's next for you guys at 1004 Mark?
Next for us, I mean, expansion. I think, you know, with our newly open shop, it's a success, and I think ultimately we want to open up actually kind of smaller versions, kind of compact versions of our shop in spaces like Deira and Karama, where there's a big, you know, population of people that like our concept. Also, like kind of similar spaces in Abu Dhabi and maybe in Business Bay and things like that. But ultimately, I think we're ready to kind of scale it. We have we're tech integrated. We have an ERP system that's scalable. And so we want to, not just in the Middle East, but, you know, places like Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Eastern Europe, and ultimately to other places. I think there are no other concepts like ours anywhere else in the world. So, yeah, that's what we want to do.
Do we have time for questions, and any questions on the floor? No? Well, thank you very much for my lovely
Thank you.
panelists. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Thank you to our panel, of course, everybody, to Chang, to Fabrice, Laurent, Mark, and Bernhard, and, of course, Peggy, thank you very much indeed.